Hello and welcome to the Art of Decluttering. Welcome to 2026. It is so nice to be back with you. Thank you for, the feedback that I got over December, which was thank you so much for doing the kind of reshare episodes. A lot of people going, they were the key ones that actually transformed the way I saw my stuff in 2025. So it was great to kind of do a bit of a replay and know that my community was listening, enjoying those. And I got to have a bit of a break over December from putting out new episodes. Some of you won't know this, but as of this year, some of our podcast episodes are going to be available on video. So you'll be able to get them on YouTube. One of the things that has put me off doing video podcasts for so long, because I've been pressured by so many people, just do it. Amy, just do it. And I've always been like, yeah, but I don't want to have to put in the effort and put on makeup and do all the things. And then I thought, oh my goodness, my audience does not expect that of me, because we talk about week in, week out, about being who we are, about not being performative, about having homes and lives that work for us, and about not just like having tidy spaces so that other people can see it. And so I went, I actually think that you guys are kind of okay with me turning up however I turn up. I'm not going to go to a big effort and like clean my house or make sure that the background of my video is perfect or do my hair and makeup, any of that stuff. So today I've actually come from being out. So yes, I have a nice top on, a nice dress on, but sometimes, friends, it will probably be in my pajamas, and I'm going to be okay with that. So however I turn up is how it turns up. But the podcast you can still listen to on all your channels. You can still find it on my website, and now you can find it on YouTube as well. There's always been stuff from me on YouTube, so you can always keep looking at that. But this would just be added in, which is a bit of fun. We've really enjoyed having a few weeks off over the Christmas, New Year period. It's been really quiet for us. We have done a lot of board games. I've done some gardening, and we've just chilled. We've watched movies, we've watched the cricket, and we've just had some quiet family downtime, which has been really nice. My youngest is heading into year 12 this year, and my eldest is just about to finish a course that he's been doing. So it's going to be a busy year. So we just like bunker down, have some quiet time, enjoy some time, and just kind of relax and not be guilted into there's all the things we should be doing. There are things we could be doing, but we're choosing to just prioritize rest, which has been really nice. One of the things we did do over the holidays is spend a couple of hours in each of the kids' bedrooms and do like a full declutter. We also thought we had carpet moths. Turns out we did have a couple in one bedroom, but the other bedroom was fine, but it was good motivation. But we basically took every single thing out of the kids' bedrooms, including like all the bedding, mattress, everything off their bookshelves, all the clothes out of the wardrobe, and just gave their bedrooms like a super good clean. So the cleaning, different to decluttering and organizing, but an excellent foundation for then putting stuff back in. You guys know that our family's not super into presents. And so this year, which is what we've done a couple of years in a row, is we said to the kids after Christmas, once all the sales are on the brands that you like, we'll take them shopping and they can buy some clothes that they want. They're not really into surprises. So it was very much like them going, Mum, take me to this shop. This is what I want, and ordered some things online, and they were super happy. So Cal and I were glad to get their rooms. Like their rooms are just so nice, just being able to know they're completely clean, decluttered, and organized, and exactly as we want them. And we also took our tree down. So if you haven't taken your tree down, this is like your public service announcement. Take your tree down tonight, this weekend, as soon as you can. The longer it gets away from Christmas, the less motivated people are to take their trees down. And I can cross my heart that we go into clients' homes all throughout the year, and there is always clients who have their Christmas trees up in May, in August, that just haven't got around to putting it down. So you kind of become like visually blind to it. Like it's always in the corner. So you always know it's there, and you don't even recognize that the Christmas tree's still up when it's like March. So I really recommend to get it down as soon as you can and like enjoy that space, because you've put up a big tree. You might have had presents around it. And then when you take it down, you're like, it feels really nice. It feels really nice to have that space back. So welcome to the new year. I wanted to do an episode this week called Fresh Start, because I think, everybody's talking about New Year's resolutions and what's your word of the year and all of these things. And I want you to think about what you're letting go of as you enter into 2026, because it's not always just about like decluttering the stuff. But sometimes it's like what has changed and what has evolved and who is the new me, and what do I need to get rid of that was a previous version of me, a previous version of you that you can move into the new year with. And so maybe it's hobbies that you've outgrown, or craft or art projects. Maybe it's toys that the kids have outgrown and they no longer use, or things in the kitchen that you thought you would use. You got a great appliance last year and you just never used it. Maybe it's clothes that you thought you would wear that you didn't wear, that you've outgrown, that are too small for you or too big for you, or the fashion's changed. And one of the things that I love kind of looking at the start of a new year is like, what decorations and ornaments and figurines and art on the walls are in my home, and have I grown out of it? Like, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just no longer my style or doesn't represent me anymore. Maybe there's a side hustle that you have outgrown that you need to kind of think about, like, what does it look like to shed that side hustle? A lot of people start side hustles with great enthusiasm, and then they cost a lot of money, and maybe you haven't recouped some of that, or it didn't go like you expected. And there can be a little bit of embarrassment with like, oh, I kind of feel obligated, like I should keep going with this. But maybe it's a side hustle that you need to let go of as you kind of embrace 2026 you. Or maybe it's just activities that you used to enjoy, but you don't enjoy anymore, so you need to get rid of them. So that's what I want to talk about today. And really, making sure that as you step into who you are in 2026, whether you decide who that person is now and you set goals and you set, like, these are the steps I'm going to take and this is the dreaming that I'm going to do, or whether you're like, I'm just going to take tomorrow and see what tomorrow brings, and then I'll take the next day. It doesn't matter which of those it is. That sometimes you do need to just shed the old stuff. I was thinking about it today, and if I hadn't sold, I used to own a kids' party supply business. I'm sure many of you know that. If I hadn't have sold that business, I wouldn't have made way for when I decided to become a professional organizer and start the art of decluttering. I wouldn't have had space for that if I was still caught up in running a kids' online party business. And, prior to that, there were other businesses I ran that, like, the season changed. Sometimes seasons change and we think, I'll just kind of hang on to something just in case. But I want to encourage you today to kind of let go of stuff, because, the way that your home is a reflection of the time you spend and how you live in your home. So if it's full of stuff that you've outgrown and no longer reflects you, like, maybe it's a really good time to fix that up and improve it. Sometimes we have the guilt of keeping hold of things because we had good intentions, or we spent money on it, or other people invested in it, or it was things that we really used to love, but we just don't love anymore for whatever reason it is. Like, it might be an activity like you might have been really into boxing, and so you got a boxing bag and you got gloves and you got all the bits and pieces, and you were definitely going to make boxing the way that you were going to maintain your health in 2025 or 2022 or however long ago. But the reality is you never got into it, but you're quite into your bike riding. So it might be like time to go, okay, I'm going to clear out the boxing stuff. It's no longer serving me. It's no longer doing what I need it to do. And actually it inhibits my ability to just grab a bike and go out. So sometimes the old things inhibit us from being able to move forward and grow as we would want to. Something that my team did a lot of in 2025 was work with clients who had family members or loved ones who'd passed away. And the clients were feeling ready to start curating and going through their stuff and decluttering the things that were no longer important, and actually deciding on the things that they wanted to keep. And whether it's someone that you lost in 2025, or whether it's been 5 years or 15 years, it's really common when you're like in the depths of grief that you don't want to, it feels disrespectful, or it feels like if you declutter someone's stuff that you might forget them, or you're going to make bad choices. Like, there is so much caught up in grief and decluttering that it's really like, when the time is right, the time is right. And there's no formula. There's no we worked with someone this year who was ready to do some of that decluttering for a practical reason within probably a month of someone passing away. And then other times I'll work with someone who says, look, my partner passed away 10 years ago and all of their clothes are still in the wardrobe. So it's so individualized about when you're ready to tackle that. But sometimes that might be the thing for 2026 for you, is I actually want the new me is someone who isn't stuck in the grief. So it's not that you're not wanting to remember, but the new one might be, instead of having a garage full of my grandma's or my mum's or my brother's stuff, I'm actually going to pick and choose the things that I really love, integrate them into my life, but I'm free then to let go of like the excess or all of the things, because when someone passes away, you can't practically keep all of the things. And if you keep all of the things, then none of the things are special, and it can be really tricky. But maybe this year it's like, yeah, you know what, it is time for me to understand that this is the next season. And in order to move into the next season, which is all about that fresh start, I actually need to let go of some other things. Maybe you 95% of people who set New Year's resolutions as like a health goal. It might be a fitness goal. It might be like a vitality goal. It might be a movement goal, whatever it is. But it might be that in order to kind of let go of the old, it means that you rearrange your kitchen so that it's really easy for you to prepare the meals that you'd like to prepare. And so sometimes it's like, who do I want to be and what support do I need in order to do that? If you're someone who's like, you know what, from now on, I want to be someone who goes to the gym, maybe you need to actually rearrange your wardrobe so that your gym clothes are really easy to get to, or they're easy to put away, or, like, how do I actually set up my home so that the new version of me that I want to move into isn't stopped purely by clutter? Because my goodness, friends, like, clutter is the last thing that you want to have in your way of achieving your goals. That's just devastating to me, because it's so easy to be caught in that. And what I want you to do is be able to enjoy the freedom of living free from all of that stuff. So have a think about some things for you to ponder on. You don't necessarily have to take action today. It's the start of the year. Like, take it at your own pace, but be thinking, like, is there a category of items in my home that might be holding me back? What could that be? What am I ready to say goodbye to that's representative of the old me, but not representative of current me? Am I ready to let go of all my old uni textbooks that, yes, I slaved at a job I didn't love to earn the money to buy these textbooks, but actually the new me is employed and I'm growing and I do my professional development, but I never look back at my textbooks. And so I want to grow my career, but those textbooks are holding me back. And where do I want to create space for a new and evolving me? And I think that can be a really exciting question to ask. We do a lot of work in helping people set up craft rooms, sewing rooms, puzzle rooms, gaming spaces, entertaining spaces, bedrooms that they feel can be a place for intimacy and good rest and sleep and rejuvenation. So kind of knowing what you're heading to can help you decide like what to get rid of. And you know as well as me, there are a million different podcasts you can listen to about how to goal set, what it looks like in 2026. Go and listen to those. Go and follow some people, do some YouTube searching, and find the things, if you need the support, in how to set the goals. But when you've set them, I want you to think like, well, what do I have physically that's holding me back? So I have clutter in a space that's stopping me from getting to who I want to be in 2026. And then take some little steps toward it. Maybe it's not about saying I'm going to change the whole spare room into a place where I can do model trains. I'm sure so many of you do model trains. That's all I can think of. But instead it might be, I'm actually going to go in there and I'm going to sell 2 really big items that are in the way, or I'm going to go in and I'm going to get as many donations as I can in 15 minutes. One of the things I was talking to one of my team back before, and I was saying that one of the things I want to do this year is learn how to crochet. So rather than going to Spotlight or a craft store and buying all of the supplies, I went online and I found a kids learn to crochet kit. And it's how to make, I'm going to learn how to make a crab. But it's just like that little step. Like, I could go to all the effort of setting it up. And as an ADHDer, we all love a good hobby. I could do that. But instead, I'm just going to do like one simple step. I'm going to buy one crochet kit and I'm going to learn how to do just a crab. And if I love it, then I can go and do some more things. But I don't need to create a whole space in my home. I don't need to do all these big things. I'm just going to do that one little thing. And if I find as I do it that I love it, then maybe there might be some other activities that I've loved in the past that I've still got supplies for that I go, okay, I'm really not into coloring in anymore. So the 3 half-done coloring in books that I've got and half a pack of textures that have half dried out, maybe it's time to let those go. And if I do decide in the future that I want to be coloring in Amy again, then I get some new coloring in books and some new markers that will bring me joy and will help me to enjoy that. I hope it's been a helpful episode. It's so good to be back with you for 2026. I've got lots of things planned for us for this year. If you need some support in your home, please reach out. We've got availabilities in February and March for our Melbourne clients, and January and February and onwards for any of our virtual clients anywhere in the world. I'd love to work with you. Until then, I can't think of anything else that I need to tell you. So until then, enjoy the freedom.